Hey guys, welcome back to Real Talk with Carissa and Jason. Before you listen to this episode, go over to Instagram and please follow us at Carissa and Jason, and then hop straight over to YouTube and subscribe to us at Real Talk with Carissa and Jason. We appreciate your support and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Carissa and Jason.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
Welcome to the studio. We're excited to be here after a very heavy but necessary episode last week.
I'm still exhausted from it.
Yeah. I think it was completely necessary. And maybe the realest thing we've talked about so far.
A little too real for my liking.
A little that episode, you know, I know we're not doing like witty like subject titles anymore, but that episode should be titled like The Real Talk with Carissa and Jason, because that was just so real.
That's a good one.
If you haven't caught last week's episode yet, please go take a look and have a listen, because we talk about forgiveness. We talk about the importance of it, and especially Jason's journey through forgiveness. So we'd really appreciate if you go check it out, not for the views, but just for the sake of maybe looking at something in your life a little bit differently.
Word.
Yeah. But this week, we have a little bit more of a lighthearted, fun episode planned.
Thank God.
My goal is for this to be our most fun episode yet, because I think most of our topics are very serious topics.
So we're playing
which
ping
is
pong?
good. No. Well, I want to... I guess you could call it a game. It's not really a game. But... sort of like a 20 questions kind of thing. But I basically wanted our viewers to know a little bit more about us, because I've found that our viewers are people that you know, people that I know, but not too many people that actually know the both of us. And if they do, they don't actually really know us very well.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think it would be great for our viewers to learn a little bit more about us and who we are, so that maybe they'll actually want to listen to another episode. Yeah. Because they actually know who we are.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, it only took us 13 episodes to think about doing something like this. I don't know why. But yeah, so Jason Sadler, tell me where you grew up. Just set the scene for me, and I want to know like what you want when you were a kid. What did you want to be when you were grown up?
Well, what I wanted to be and what I should have been are probably two different things.
Okay.
But I grew up at North York General Hospital.
You grew up there?
I was born there.
Okay.
Did I say grow up?
Yeah.
Okay, right. I was born there, and grew up Don Mills area. Don Mills in 401-ish. I think that's where we lived when I was born, I think. And then we moved to Scarborough, where I lived at Markham and Eglinton for my whole youth. And then from there, moved to another area of Scarborough, Port Union and Lawrence. And then from there, went to Malvern area. And then from there,
this is all Scarborough,
Pickering.
Scarborough, and Scarborough.
Yeah,
oh, and then we go more east. It's Pickering.
No place like home.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we moved to Pickering when I was in grade 8. Halfway through grade 8, I started school there, and I've been in Pickering, Ajax ever since.
Well, that's really home for you then.
Yeah, it is. It is. Creature of habit.
Apparently.
Like to stay in our environments.
I think that's true, because I was born on the West End and I have no desire to go to the East End.
Yeah, but you will though, and I we've had this conversation.
Okay.
I know I'm going to see you.
I've heard this too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Where did you?
Well, now I have friends in the East End. So, you know what's actually funny that you say that is I have so many friends that like live in Scarborough now. I'm like, where did you people come from? I don't like coming here.
Yeah, you do. You keep saying you don't, but only somebody who does keeps saying they don't.
Okay.
Otherwise, you wouldn't say anything.
All right, fair. Okay, so what I wanted to know was, okay, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah. I had the gift of gab, is what people call it.
The gift of gab. So what, like finessing people?
Well, I'm going to say getting out of any situation that I was in, no problem.
Okay.
I could do that very easily at any time.
So either lawyer or a professional criminal, basically.
Right. So,
Okay.
you know, lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had opportunity to be professional criminal if I wanted to
Yeah.
be, and I chose not to. And the only thing that stopped me from being a lawyer, well, besides God, was I hate school.
Okay.
So I heard you needed to be in school for a little longer than
1 year.
Yeah.
Then you needed more than a GED.
So that was
Maybe God made you hate school on purpose.
Maybe
to drive you to your destiny.
It's weird because I just wasn't a good student. That's what I hated. I didn't like the way that they taught.
Yeah.
And I couldn't learn the way that they taught. So because I couldn't learn the way that they taught, I was deemed not smart, if you will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, did they give you like a special learning program or like put you in like lower classes? Or
No,
whatever?
not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. Because I can grasp
Okay.
what they're saying.
You just hated it.
I just hated it.
Yeah, it's fair.
And it's like if you're doing something that you hate to do, you're only going to do it half-assed.
Yeah.
So I did it half-assed. I did just enough to pass. I knew what I needed to do just to pass. So I only did what I needed to do just to pass.
Very smart. You could have been a lawyer if you like school.
Well, it is what it is. I'm glad I wasn't, though. I'm glad everything turned out great.
That's seems a little stressful.
Yeah.
So when you turned like 18 and like that's the time of people's life where it's like, okay, time to make a decision about what you're going to do with your life. What did you want to like become when you were older, when you were 18?
I just wanted to survive when I was 18.
Mm.
Yeah, it wasn't about what I wanted to be and what I didn't want to be. I just wanted to survive.
You're like, all right, where's tomorrow? What am I eating?
Yeah. Like, where am I sleeping tomorrow?
Yeah.
And
all right.
Where am I eating? And that's where I was when I was 18.
That's a fair reality. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. But I had good people around me, and I had the greatest watchdog of all. God watching over my back,
hey,
so I was always taken care of.
Come on.
Yeah. What about you? Where did you grow up?
Where did Carissa grow up?
Yeah.
Carissa was born.
You know what I picture? Can I tell you what I picture?
Sure.
I picture like a white picket fence, only it's not white.
Okay.
It's just a picket fence.
So a white wrought iron fence, like many
Something
Italians
like
and
that.
Europeans in the city.
Something like that. Yeah. And I picture pigtails. I don't know why.
Because I'm cute. Hello.
Okay, sorry. Instead of me telling you how you grew up, why don't you tell me
I like this version. So I was born in Mississauga, Trillium Hospital to be exact. Grew up in that area, lived with my grandparents for a bit, here Ontario and Dundas area. And then my parents bought a house when I was a baby. We moved there and then stayed there ever since in Mississauga.
In that house?
In that house, yeah. So we moved there when I was like 3 or something. And then that's the house I lived in ever since.
Wow.
So we never moved. My parents didn't want to move. There was no white picket fence. It was a townhome. But it was I think I had such an amazing childhood because we lived on a street of townhouses where it was just very diverse. Even the street next to us had even smaller townhouses, but then on the other side of my street there was bigger houses. So it was just diverse in every sense of the way, ethnically diverse, financially diverse. The street and area that we grew up in was just so diverse, but so fun because we lived a little tucked away, in our kind of complex or suburb or whatever. So hockey nets on the street all the time, basketball nets on the street, soccer balls on the street. Everyone's just had a great time. It was great. Yeah. Dogs chasing people. It was good times. Yeah. I really appreciate that about my childhood and what I wanted to be. The first memory I have was I remember probably with my pigtails, just swiping back my hair and asking my mom, what's the name of the person that draws the pictures for picture books? She's like, that's called an illustrator. And I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be an illustrator. She's like, no problem. And then I actually ran with that dream for a bit because I wanted to take art classes because I didn't have a natural gift for drawing. I really did not. But I liked doing it So I actually for a while like actually wanted to audition for like art schools and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
I couldn't freaking draw though.
Oh, okay.
Nobody really told me that. Like, but my mom was just like, "Oh, this is so nice."
Yeah.
Nobody could tell me that I didn't draw. But I just loved like the arts growing up. I loved like everything, like drawing, painting, acting, dancing, gymnastics, whatever, the whole thing.
Anything creative.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, pretty much. So I wanted to like draw picture books like when I was a kid. And then that pretty much like morphed into like when I was older, like literally wanting to be an actress when I like was graduating high school. And then thinking to myself, like I literally see the look on your face right now. You're like, what the heck? Thinking to myself when I was 18, am I going to get anywhere as an actress? Am I going to make any money? I almost thought too logically, like for my own good. Like I pretty much shot down my own dream when I was 18 years old. I was like, Carissa, don't kid yourself here. You're mediocre at best.
Well, it kind of makes sense to me though, because I always say you're very drama.
Well,
so there must be something to it. Maybe you're better than you think.
There is something to it.
Yeah.
But I pretty much shot down my own dream. I was just like, okay, going to an art school is like stupid, waste of money, whatever. So I was like, let me just do something like media related and like see where that takes me. So that's Carissa's life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's when you were talking about like bringing out basketballs and soccer balls and all that. It's interesting because when I was a youth.
You don't have to say it like that.
Our version of that was taking cardboard boxes out of the dumpster at the time.
Oh my God.
And opening them up and breakdancing on them. That's what our fun was.
Breakdancing on them.
Breakdancing on cardboard boxes. That's what we did.
You're old, bro. Yeah. This was the 1980s, ladies and gents.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
At first when you said cardboard boxes, I'm like, damn, I didn't know life was that rough. But then you're talking about breakdancing.
No,
like, okay,
it was rough. That wasn't rough at all. That was good. That was good times.
That actually sounds like a lot of fun.
Super fun. Yeah. And when we take our break, we'd hop on our big wheels. You know, you're probably too young to know what a big wheel is, but it's like
I kind of want to Google it.
It's like a bike sort of, but low on the ground, like a lowrider car with 3 wheels, 2 back wheels and a front wheel.
There's an old Chinese man in my neighborhood that has that.
100%. Guarantee you he does. Okay. Yes. And it's probably green. So yeah, that was my equivalent. We didn't really play soccer and basketball and all that, but we would run up and down the apartment building and cause ruckus in the stairwell and hallways.
See, I have a question. I never grew up in an apartment building, but I always wondered this growing up. Halloween in apartment buildings.
Yeah, the best.
Like, do you just go door to door?
Yeah, the best.
So like you don't have to go outside?
No.
And freeze your ass off?
No.
That actually must be amazing as a kid.
If I wanted to be a nudist for Halloween, I was cool because I wasn't cold.
But then didn't that take out some of the fun, like not being able to go outside?
We didn't know any different, so we didn't care.
Well,
we just care about candy. Like we just want candy. You don't care how you get it. You know,
just give me the sugar.
Yeah. You know, and you got to make sure you're old enough that you're not in the stairway by yourself with your bag of candy because you might not have it when you go back. You know.
Okay, this kind of goes into my next question. Okay, so when you were a kid, what was your biggest fear?
Getting licks.
Okay. That's just like too practical.
Well, that's my biggest fear.
I mean, yeah, that's good. That's good. It's just I wasn't expecting that practical of an answer.
Oh, sorry.
No, but that's good. It's a good answer.
I
was thinking like monsters, you know. But
Getting
licks.
I didn't really have a fear. I was afraid of my parents. That was my fear. I was afraid of my parents.
That's good.
Yeah.
I was like deathly afraid of the dark.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like in school assemblies, like you know how sometimes like they turn off the lights or whatever.
Yeah.
I would like literally like want to poop my pants. Like my heart would drop to my stomach. I was afraid like I was gonna get like kidnapped or like stabbed or shot. Apparently, listen. Do not watch Young and the Restless in front of your children because I think all the ideas that got into my head from that show, like where was I thinking I was going to get kidnapped in a school assembly, like in the dark? I don't know. Probably the Young and the Restless. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I just remembered. I know what I was afraid of now.
Okay.
The Michael Jackson Thriller video.
Oh.
Yo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't sleep for weeks.
Mm.
I saw this dude I like
I said,
singing
monsters.
and turned into a werewolf.
Okay, monsters. So you were afraid of monsters.
I forgot. The first thing that came to my mind was Licks. Now that we're thinking about it,
Monsters.
Michael Jackson Thriller
video. See, what kids watch really means something, because when I was a kid, my parents loved the movie Speed with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
the movie?
I feel like that was just on like last week.
It's on TV all the time.
No, I mean like it was just made last week.
It was made in the 90s, I'm pretty sure. My parents loved that movie. The opening scene, they get stuck in an elevator and there's like a bomb in the elevator or something. I saw that scene when I was like 4 and I was terrified until I was like 15 of elevators.
Wow.
Yeah. But by the time I was like 10, I realized that my fear was like irrational. I'm like, I don't need to be afraid of elevators. Yeah. And I didn't tell a single soul. Like I didn't even tell my mom I was afraid. Which every time I went in, I would like hold my breath that like we didn't get stuck.
Oh, interesting.
Like literally probably till I was like 15 or 16. Every time I stepped into an elevator, I was like, please don't let me get stuck. Please don't let me get stuck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you would have hated me then if we were friends there like at that time, because growing up in an apartment building, we used to go in the elevator and literally jump up and down in the elevator to try to get it to stop. Like we didn't know the consequences of what could happen, but our goal was to jump up and down high enough and hard enough where the elevator stopped. And then when it would stop, then we would try to open the door. And then when you open the door of an elevator, you kind of see the inside and it looks like Terminator 2 type thing.
Yeah, that's what terrified me. Because you could see the cables and I'd be afraid that like, because I think it was in Speed, they try to like cut the cables or something.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to die if I go into an elevator.
You would have hated my guts.
Oh, probably. We probably would not have been friends.
100%.
Guaranteed. I was a very like kind of scaredy cat kind of child. And you sound the very opposite of that. Yeah, no way. Like literally like even now, TK always makes fun of me because like I flinch a lot. Like I'm just a very jumpy person. If I see something kind of coming from the corner and it's just like, okay, like today I went into work and I saw like a box on the ground that wasn't there. I literally flinched because I thought it was like an animal. Like I'm that person.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I think I was just like, things happened to me as a kid. Like I was always getting hit in the face with like basketballs or like volleyballs or like whatever it was, to the point where it's just like, I was like always just scared.
Yeah, you sound like Duke.
I sound like the opposite of you.
Of me, yeah.
Yeah.
But you sound like Duke. I'll come around the corner. I could be whistling. I could be playing the drums, and I'll come around the corner, and Duke will literally jump out of her shoes every time. Mind you, I will say this. It might be my fault because I do like to have fun with her because I know she's jumpy. So I'll wait for her to come out of the shower
and scare her.
Yeah, I'll be like lying on the ground. And then she opens the door and I start barking or like, you know what I mean? So that's my entertainment. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't like it at all, obviously, but I'm that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So you would have hated me then and you would hate me now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, thank God I don't live with you.
I'm gonna see if I can talk
God
to TK.
bless Lindsay Sadler.
Teach you some tricks.
Teach me some tricks?
No, I'll teach TK some tricks.
No.
He'll have entertainment for the rest of his life.
Yeah, he'll have an apartment to himself. That's what he'll have. I'm packing my bags. No way. He'll probably get annoyed at how often I will get afraid, to the point where he's just like, no, this is just impossible. Because the people pointed it out to me recently too. Like they're like, you're so jumpy. I'm like, listen, nobody asked for your opinion. I'm just trying to live my life and not get hurt, because I don't know why I'm like this, to be honest.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
What is something that nobody knows that you can reveal here today?
Okay, that's difficult.
Is it?
I talk a lot, so
no. This has to be something that nobody knows.
But that's my issue. I say everything.
Oh.
I tell first every thought I have, I say out loud, like to my own fault.
Okay.
So I mean that's something new about me that maybe everybody didn't know. I literally say everything out loud. So.
Okay, that's kind of an unfair question, actually.
I'm trying to think. What's something people don't know about me? Like I feel like everybody knows like something about me.
All right, we'll come back to
Okay, you tell me what you were thinking for you.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so
something that nobody knows about me. Lion King is my favorite movie of all time.
Lion King's one of my favorite movies. But everybody knows that about me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I feel like that's expected of me. That's not expected of you.
Right. I think that's why
Yeah.
nobody knows.
So why is Lion King your favorite movie?
Because
it's the best.
Yeah.
It's boss.
It's the greatest movie ever.
Yeah. Lion King and Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo was good, but I don't put it on the same level as
Lion King?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's so many lessons in Lion King. There's so many things that are actual to real life in Lion King.
Yeah. Finding Nemo too.
Is it? Maybe I have to go back and check it out again.
Finding Nemo is a bomb movie. I think it's my favorite. And then I think Lion King comes second.
Oh, okay.
I mean, somebody probably knows this about me, but like when I like something, like I will run like to the death with it. Like I think I watched the movie Peter Pan 5 billion times. When I like a song, I will only listen to that song until I move on to the next song that I will only listen to until the next song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like, it's exhausting.
I'd hate to live with you or be in a car with you then, for sure.
No, literally, like, TK tells me, he's like, you listen to the same songs. I'm like, yeah, because I love these songs. And then in a month, I'll move on to another song, but I physically cannot listen to another song until I get it all out.
At least you're loyal.
When I like food, when I like a dish that I've made, I will want to eat that food 5 days in a row until I move on to the next thing. I think I had peanut butter with toast for breakfast for like a whole year straight because I was just loving it that much.
I eat that all the time. I miss it actually on this stupid diet.
Whole30.
Yeah.
Sucks. Sucks like from the outside perspective, but I'm pretty sure your insides are
I feel
very
fantastic.
happy. Yeah.
I can turn over cars.
Hey. Physically,
yeah.
Spiritually,
yeah.
You're set.
I feel like it.
Yeah. So that's something about me that maybe not a lot of people know because you would only really know if you're like seeing me like every single day.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably a very annoying thing about me. Okay. Unless you had a question, I have one.
Nope.
Okay. So who would you say like your hero is growing up or now? Like, did you have someone that you really looked up to growing up? Even like if it was like a movie character or whatever, or like a person in real life?
So I'm not really a celebrity guy.
Mm-hmm.
I never have been. Like, I don't care. I've never been starstruck. A celebrity can walk by me. A celebrity can want to come talk to me, and I don't really care. I've kind of always been like that. So I wouldn't say I have any heroes like that. I look up to my dad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of things about my dad that I really hated. I ain't gonna lie. But I think overall, you know, as a father, and what he, you know, what he could have done, what he didn't do,
Mm-hmm.
what he did, I look up to my dad from that perspective. And it's funny because we were talking about last week, we were talking about forgiveness and all of that. And it's ironic that my dad actually falls into that category a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I looked up to him at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
So
was that when you were younger too? Like, did you consciously look up to your dad?
I started to know when I was younger. No, it wasn't until I got older and I understood life.
Yeah.
Is when I started to look up to him. So I'm going to say like late 20s.
Okay. So what about like when you were younger?
Didn't really have anybody that I looked up to really.
Really?
Yeah. I had nobody that really influenced me.
Michael Jackson?
No. I mean, no. I would
Yeah.
I would mimic his dance moves. Like
Yeah.
I would always I was the guy that would watch videos and I would mimic all the dance moves.
Okay.
And then I would go to family reunions or I'd go to places and throw down.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And get a crowd around, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, this little guy can dance."
Oh, you were that guy.
Yeah, I was,
in the middle of the circle.
I was that guy.
This doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I feel like you're still that person now.
No.
Okay, sure.
Not anymore. If we get the boys together now,
okay,
you know, and we hear some of our songs from back in the day, and
you get some cardboard out. It's going down.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But yeah, there's. I don't know if it's sad or not, but there was nobody that I really looked up to like that.
I don't think it's sad.
Yeah.
I don't think you need someone.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's weird that there was nobody, but I don't think it's sad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's an indifferent kind of thing.
And you?
I like now. I don't know. I mean, I love my mom. Like I love like my parents, stuff like that. So like that's kind of a given. But in terms of like kind of like look up to in that sense, when I was younger, I had this thing where like I wanted to be like a big girl. So like my cousin who was older than me, like my mom said, like she would like use things like, well, Sabrina's a big girl and like she doesn't do that. And I would be like, oh, okay. So I want to be a big girl. So okay, no problem. So I would always look up to like the quote unquote like big girls.
Okay.
So
you just want to grow up quick. You just want to grow up.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But even from when I was like 2, like I think I was 1.5, and I stopped wetting the bed at night when I was like 1 because my grandma told me that big girls don't wet the bed. I said, bet. I'm a big girl. I stopped wetting the bed when I was like 1 or 2 and like never did since.
Okay.
So I don't know. It was just something from when I was young. So I actually had like some like neighbors that were older than me. They're like 5 or like 6 years older than me at like different points in my life. And I definitely looked up to them in like a good and maybe even like a bad way because they were like teenagers and I was like a kid. So it's like as a kid, like should you really be looking up like a teenager? I don't know. But like they were smart girls though. Like they were good people and they were smart. So like I would look up to them. Like one of them could like draw really well and I was like, wow, I want to draw like her. Or like I just saw the things that she did and it was almost like an older sister like type of thing. So I did look up to them when I was a kid. And then now I'm really not sure. I do look up to people though that are just doing cool things. Like there's this one woman on Instagram, her name is Shirley Rains. I've talked about her with you before, but she runs this like kind of like homeless like not-for-profit in Los Angeles where like she helps everyone on the streets of Skid Row. And I just look up to her in particular because like she's just does things like that. Those kind of people just inspire me where it's not just like, oh, let's sit and strategize and make a plan and in 5 years this and this and that. It's just like, no, like she's literally just on the ground running, like she's just doing things, and those people really inspire me. So, yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
You have any regrets?
Oh, I'm trying to keep this episode lighthearted. I mean, This is a good question because I feel like the blanket answer is no. Like, I don't have regrets in life. Like, I don't beat myself up over things.
Yeah, I'm not talking about beating yourself up. I'm just talking about if you could have a do-over.
Oh.
Would you take a do-over on something?
Yeah.
And I get the whole, you wouldn't be where you are now unless you went through. I get all
that. Of course, yeah. But forget all that. Yeah. If we're forgetting all that, then yeah, I would do a do-over for sure. I kind of touched on it last week, like some friends that I had that I really appreciated that I just didn't treat right. Yeah. I would do that over 100%. But it's hard to think. It's like with the knowledge I have now, I would be able to do it over the way I would like to. But it's like if we're putting myself back into that same body, would I have the capacity to do it over? I don't know. Right. 1,000% would do that. There are so many things that I would do over. Oh my God, we could go on for years. I'm just thinking about it. It's like, wow, from like 14 to like 19, I would do like a million things over. Yeah. I was stupid.
Yeah, I think we all were, but like a million do-overs though, like I'm not sure. Like that's heavy. Like
Not a million, but you know what? I was not as confident as a person as I am now. And I always look back to see like how just the way I carried myself, things that I maybe did or like let other people do to me. And things that like just experiences that I had. And I'm like, wow, like, okay, me now, like I wouldn't put up with that, or I wouldn't act that way, or I would approach that situation like differently, or I wouldn't be so like, I don't know. I don't like that person that I was.
right.
Which is like why I'm so happy like that I am who I am today, because I believe God did like a full like 180 with me. Not that I hated myself. I was generally happy, and I still like parts of myself like in who I am and my personality, but like my confidence level and like the way I looked at myself and the way I looked at the world and the way I looked at relationships, I'm so happy that I changed.
Right.
So there are so many things that I would do over.
I think what you're describing is probably the majority of people.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like 99%.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some people don't change though.
Right, but okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But what you said though is that you would have done those things differently because of the person that you were then. I think that majority of people have done things in the past that they wish that they could do differently. Doesn't mean that they've grown up anymore now.
True.
That doesn't change that fact.
I think I've definitely grown up, which is funny because when I'm talking about this time, like I really thought I was grown. Like I said, I thought I was a big girl from the time I was 1.
Yeah.
So I thought I was like grown my whole life. And even sometimes now I have to catch myself like, okay, Carissa, like you don't know everything.
Yeah.
Like you still have a lot of life to live. So now you need to answer this question. You better have an answer. What was the question? Do you have any regrets?
Regrets. I only have one regret.
Okay.
I have one regret, and it's with my son Jordan,
mm-hmm.
and how I handled that whole situation when he was a baby. That's my one regret. That's my only regret.
Yeah.
Not to say I haven't done other stuff,
mm-hmm.
but the other stuff, it is what it is. That's life, and that's kids, and that's teenagers, and that's just part of life.
Yeah.
But if I wish I could do that over again. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's taken a long time for me to forgive myself for it. But yeah, that's the short version of that.
That's pretty short, but that's heavy stuff. That's real stuff though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think that with my situations, I definitely look at it like that. Like I don't like dwell on it. Like I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. Like I was immature. Like I didn't know. And I wasn't grown up yet as much as I would have liked to think I was.
Yeah.
And that's
exactly where I am. That's where my thought process is. I mean, I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm a 20-year-old having a kid. And
a kid having a kid.
Yeah. And what do I know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just immaturity.
Yeah.
Lack of guidance.
Mm-hmm. At
that time, who I was being guided from should not have been guiding me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is not my parents, by the way. That's not who I'm talking about. Because remember, I left home when I was 17.
Yeah.
So it was just an unfortunate era of my life that I would definitely take a do-over on.
That's real talk with Carissa and Jason.
It is what it is, man. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
It's funny that we can't have do-overs. Like, why did God make it such a way that like we can't like go back and redo things? Like we can't travel through time. I know this is a stupid question, but it's just like, why is that like beyond physics and everything? Like, it's funny that it's not a possibility that we don't actually have the chance to redo things.
I'm kind of glad that he doesn't make it that way though, because if he made it that way, everybody would just do what they want to do, knowing that they have the opportunity to change it again later. So it would defeat the whole purpose of life's journey and going through the whole process from 1 year old to the day you die.
We would like turn ourselves into God, basically.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And we would take full advantage of it, and probably in the most wicked and evil ways possible.
Yeah.
As wicked and evil as the world is now, it would go to a whole new level if you could do that.
And then at what point would it end?
It doesn't.
Yeah. I don't think it does.
Yeah, it doesn't end.
Wow. Because even thinking about the stuff that I would change, I was like, okay, Carissa, like at what point like would it end? Would you say you would change this and that or whatever? Like, I don't think it would.
Yeah.
You could go down that spiral forever.
Yeah, and you said you have a lot like that. Like I have one.
And I've definitely had way less of a messed up life than you, which is crazy.
You know what's funny? I never had a messed up life. Like I had a good life.
Yeah. Okay, well, my apologies.
Yeah, I had a good life. I was just in, different situations. But
yeah, you messed up life. Messed up life is a wrong word, but maybe like got myself into situations.
Okay,
maybe it's a better word.
That's exactly what it is. I got myself into situations. That's exactly
some
what
interesting
it was.
situations. Yeah. My life was pretty boring, to be honest. So that's just what I mean. Like it was super boring. Like I would come home from school and be like, why don't I have friends? And like watch TV. Like it wasn't a very eventful kind of life, but yeah, so that's interesting. It's very interesting. But you know what's funny? This actually leads into the next question that I had, which was, if you could go back in time, to like any place, any time, where would you go? And this sounds so bad, but I don't want you to give me like let's pretend that like, okay, maybe this is bad, me saying let's pretend. A lot of people will take like history and cultural things into context, like as a black man, like going back into like the 1950s would be bad for you, right?
Yeah.
But can we set that aside for the sake of this question?
Yeah, I wasn't even going to go there.
Okay.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Okay. Because I just want to know, like where your head is really at with that question.
So are you talking about where I'd go back in my life or where I'd go back just in history, period?
The history period. Let's break it into two. Your life and history.
Yeah, because, to be honest with you, I couldn't even go back to like, the 1920s and 50s and all that because I would be dead.
Okay.
Because I would not be standing for what was going on. I wouldn't be standing for what was going on at that time. So,
yeah. No alcohol.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah. But in history, if I was to go, jeez.
Like, okay, my mom, for example, is like absolutely obsessed with like a Soul Train. I don't know why. Like she literally said like in Canada, like you could barely ever get the station. So if someone got the station, like 20 people would gather at their house on like the night that it got on, so they could all just watch Soul Train on TV.
Soul Train, really?
My mom loves Soul Train to the point where like literally now like her form of exercise is she'll play a Soul Train video and like try to like imitate the dances.
Really?
So yeah, she loves it. So I know my mom would go back to around that time and like try to make her way onto Soul Train.
That surprises me.
If you knew my mom, it would not surprise you.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know where I'd want to go back in history. I really don't. See, I just have a thing. Maybe I can't think of anything because I love what my future is going to hold. So I just can't wait to get to my future. So I can't even process.
That's so corny.
Back. But it's true.
Just give me an answer.
But it's true. I really don't know. I don't have an answer.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, so let me come up with two for you then, because I can picture two things for you.
Okay.
I can picture you being like in like BC, like being like one of those like Viking warriors with like a spear that's just killing things all day, but like the leader of like a tribe, like on like a giant horse.
Damn.
I can picture this.
Okay.
Because I can picture like the angry side of you, like just thriving in that atmosphere.
Yeah.
Or I can also picture like how you're talking about like as a kid in the 80s, like breakdancing on like cardboard.
Yeah.
But you being like an adult then, like 21 years old in your prime, laying down cardboard like in the club and like breakdancing.
Yeah.
If they ever laid down cardboard in clubs, I don't know.
No, we just had the floor. We did that, but we just had the floor. Whatever we did on cardboard, we did it on the floor. So we actually did do that.
Okay.
We used to battle. We used to dance battle.
Yeah, but I'm saying doing that, but like 21 years old in the 80s rather than however old you were.
Yeah, we were like 18.
Okay. I don't know.
I've been going to clubs since I was like 16.
Okay, one of those guys.
I used to actually make fake ID and sell it.
Really?
Yeah, in high school, I was the guy who you'd come to for fake ID because I knew how to doctor.
What didn't you do? This is the main question I have. Listen, please.
I had to make money.
Most people just go to McDonald's to get a job. You're a hustler.
I did have a job, but you need more.
Okay, so I know this, but just let our listeners know like the many things that you did in high school, because I think it would surprise most people.
Like what do you mean the many things that I did?
Like you played the cello.
Yeah, that was cool actually. Like I joined band thinking I'm going to play the percussion, the drums.
I'm just going to bang things
on
all
something. Yeah, that was my thing. Like I'm just going to tear it up and make noise.
Okay.
And I ended up doing it and I didn't like it. And then I tried the trumpet. I didn't like it.
Okay.
And I tried the clarinet. Boo. Like
boring.
Who plays the clarinet? And then I got to the cello. And the cello was nice.
Okay.
And it just felt good.
Okay.
So that's what I played. I was part of musicals. I did a lot of musicals in high school. Most of them actually.
Okay. So you played the cello.
Yeah.
You were a theater performer.
Yeah. Soccer. Played on the soccer team. The
all-star soccer player.
Yeah, we were awesome. Our team was amazing. Track team. OFSA. I'd go to OFSA almost every year for 100-meter sprint and 200-meter sprint.
So Olympic athlete, literally.
Bit dramatic.
Okay.
Bit dramatic. And I was in a jazz group. So I sang jazz. And you know what? That's actually might be another regret that I had. Because I had an opportunity. My music teacher really took me under her wing and saw some talents that I might have had, I guess, and had set up me to record with, at that time, who was a prominent artist, Canadian artist named Gowan. And she was friends with him and set up studio time with me and Gowan. And I decided to go, meet up with Gal instead. And I blew that off.
Okay.
Not understanding the opportunity that was in front of me until as I got older and I understood what was going on. Mrs. Kendrick, shout out Mrs. Kendrick. She took care of me. She'd get mad at me for all the right reasons.
Yeah. So we just learned 5. Well, I knew this, but people listening just learned 5 things about you that they probably did not expect. Because I remember when you told me these things, I literally turned around. I'm like, do I actually know this person? Who is Jason? Because he's a cello player, all-star athlete, jazz singer, theater performer.
Yeah, that's it.
And scammer, because you made the fake IDs.
Oh yeah, scammer. Yeah. And I used to walk around the lunchroom and ask people for money so I can go buy lunch.
Are you serious?
All the time. Yeah.
But you had enough money at one point?
No, I still didn't have any money. You know how it is.
No, but I mean you would get the $5 you needed or whatever, but then continue going on, being like, oh please, I just need $2 more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you were a gypsy.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Those jokes.
I was pretty well-rounded.
I mean, it sounds okay. Listen.
I dabbled in a bunch of things. I had fun. I had a good time.
That's not even well-rounded is not even a good word for that. It's just you just sound weirdly talented.
No,
it sounds weird.
It sounds more than it is, I think. You're giving it more oomph than it needs, probably.
No, because you're saying that your teacher saw enough talent in your singing and your jazz abilities that she wanted to hook you up with a professional musician. And you're also saying that you went to OFSA every year and that your soccer team was like all-star and that you played the damn cello. Like, like
it's the cello.
Who plays the cello?
Over, right? I know that's what
who
it is.
plays the cello. And you were like in every theater performance possible. Like, it just sounds like you were actually good at everything you did. You were the person that I envied in high school, now that I think about it.
I just had a good time. That's all.
Because I tried so many things and I was so mediocre at literally everything I tried.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's two very different types of people. It's okay. Well, where would I go back in time? Now I don't know, because now I'm just thinking about where you would go back in time because you don't have a good answer. I don't know where I would go back in time. I remember when I was younger, I would always say the 50s because that's just what people always say. I don't know why. With the roller skates and the milkshakes and whatever, but definitely not now. It sounds so boring.
Yeah. That's actually a favorite pastime of me and my dad.
Roller skating?
Yeah.
Roller skating sounds fun.
We had so much fun.
Yeah. I've never been to like one of like the rinks, but I would like do it like outside.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
We do tricks on the roller skates and dance to the music, and
I wish I knew you when you were younger.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go to the 50s anymore. Probably something a little more fun, to be honest. Maybe like the disco era. That sounds like a lot of fun and just dramatic.
Yeah, well, you'd be high every day.
Well, okay. I'm just thinking about the outfits, really.
Oh, okay, right. Well, I'm just saying, if you're
I'm thinking like outfits and like hair.
Yeah.
Because I would definitely fit in with my hair. Or this is a corny answer. I know a lot of people say this, but I want to go back to like Jesus' time, and I want to like stand there and like see it all happen with my own eyes.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
I'll take all like the bad stuff it comes with. Women having to like milk the cows every day and like can't work, whatever.
Yeah. I'd be Jesus' hype man.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like Diddy in the background with Jesus.
Yo.
Yeah, bad boy. Jesus.
This is crazy because so many people have said this about TK. People actually those exact words. You're Jesus' hype man.
Yeah.
That would be so sick.
I could see that. I could see that for him.
I feel like I would be like a note taker.
For sure.
Yeah. I would be there with my notebook.
Yeah,
and
then you would share the notes with people later.
Yeah. People like you that don't like to read and write.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm the note taker. You're the hype man.
Yeah.
Yo, I really want to go back and see all that stuff happen like with my own eyes. Why isn't time travel possible?
Well,
I want to see these things.
New technology coming out. You never know what might happen.
This coronavirus vaccine might make us time travel.
Oh, I'm sure it will, actually. I'm sure it will.
Okay. 2 more questions. Let's do the serious one last. So this one. Okay, you can have a dinner party with 4 people, dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you bring? You can have a serious answer, like I know family members that pass away and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But add a little more spice to it. Who would you bring to this dinner party?
I would bring Bob Marley.
Okay.
I would bring Bill Clinton.
Okay. That's unexpected.
I would bring my brother Omar.
Okay.
And I would bring Jesus.
Hey. That's a lit dinner party. Bob Marley and Jesus.
You don't even know.
Okay, so why Bill Clinton?
Because he was a guy who I kind of liked.
Okay.
But because I know that there's another side that I didn't know then, I just want to ask him why.
Okay. What are you referring to exactly?
I mean, it's irrelevant. I just
like Monica Lewinsky, you mean, or like?
No. I ain't mad at him for that. But It's more deeper than that. It's more politically
Like how he was with like the black community
sensitive.
and stuff.
No, like how he is, like the history of what presidents have to go. All the presidents, most of them, have to be a certain way and have to go through this certain thing that a lot of people don't know about.
Okay.
I don't want to get into all of it, but he is not.
Do you have intel from the White House?
I don't have intel from the White House. I have intel from research
Okay.
and from my own diggings, and it was just a disappointment. That's all. It's a disappointment.
Okay.
And I just want to ask why. That's really all it comes down to.
I just want to know what the heck you're referring to.
Well, we'll talk offline. We can get into it.
Okay.
But those are my four.
All right.
Those are my four.
That's a solid 4.
Yeah. Bob
Very
Marley, Bill
unexpected.
Clinton, my brother Omar, and Jesus.
I would like to be the 5th because I just want to witness this this conversation.
Yeah.
Love it. Who would I choose, you ask?
Of course.
Jesus. Like, you just got to add him in there because, come on. You got to put Jesus in there.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman.
Whoa.
And that just came to me now because I am just fascinated with the Underground Railroad. Like, how did she even... When I look at that map and, like, the codes and stuff like that, like, I don't know, it just fascinates me.
Yeah.
Plus, she's a boss. Yeah. Jesus. Harriet Tubman. I'm a little stuck now. I gotta think about this. I wish we could choose like fictional characters. Can I choose my dog? This is so bad.
Okay. You got serious. I mean, you know.
This is real talk. I miss my dog so much. I never knew that like a pet dying could be like as emotional of a thing like as it was.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would actually understand it unless you have a pet that died. And I get people like can sympathize if you don't have a pet, right? You're just like, all right, I understand, I feel you. But like, I swear, my family was like more messed up than like any person ever dying than like when my dog died. It was actually so emotional. I actually miss my dog so much. This is maybe the most white girl thing I've ever said on this podcast. But I really miss my dog.
Yeah, I hear that a lot from pet owners. I personally cannot relate to it.
Yeah.
I've had a dog before. I just don't view dogs the same way that everybody else does.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Like people say it's part of the family. It's like a family member. I hear you. I get it.
So I'm saying, like, unless you own a dog, you truly can't make that connection.
I did own a dog.
Oh,
I did.
Sorry, I missed that.
I owned a dog, and it just wasn't. I don't know. Anyway,
it's because you're not white.
Yeah, you know what? 100%. By the way, yeah.
There's something different about white people and dogs. It's a little too much.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. I get it.
We love our dogs. I did not think I would ever be that person either. I miss my dog so much. Yeah. I'd throw my dog into this dinner party. Yeah. That's really funny. I can't believe I've even been saying that. Wow. I'm going to really regret saying that.
When you listen back to it, I'm
just going to be like, oh my God, Chris, way to go to embarrass yourself. Jesus, Harriet Tubman. I could say like Abraham Lincoln or like somebody else. But no, I'm saying my dog. Jesus, Harriet Tubman, my dog, and this is harder than I thought it was gonna be.
I thought you were gonna have like an answer.
I thought I was too, but I honestly forget what I was gonna say. I used to say Beyonce all the time. It's like now I don't care anymore, and I was just like, okay. And I used to say Ellen too.
For the same reason why you've changed on Beyonce is kind of the same reason why I've changed on Bill Clinton. And I want to ask him why. I'll just leave that at that.
Okay.
I know why your reasons are with Beyonce.
I just don't care about celebrities like the way I used to care. I think I used to idolize celebrities a bit more. Beyonce was one. Ellen was another. I just don't anymore. Like, I really don't care anymore. I actually unfollowed all celebrities off of Instagram, which was really cool.
Might be a good move.
Yeah. I think I might choose like, oh my God. You're going to hate me for this answer. You know, like Adam and Eve? Yeah. Like, can I choose Adam?
Sure, you're good.
Yo, Adam's at my dinner party, bro. I have so many questions. We could replace Jesus with Adam because I have way more questions for Adam.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Jesus, Adam, Harriet Tubman, and my dog. I have so many questions to ask and so many things to pet. Miss my dog. All right. One last question so we can close this out. I hope you guys are enjoying this episode. It's definitely different than every episode we've done, but I think it's needed.
I don't think anybody else will care like we do.
Really?
Yeah.
I think people want to get to know us.
Okay.
Because they don't, well, I know a lot of people that listen don't know anything about me.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
And I've been wrong once or twice.
All right.
And even if not, it doesn't matter. Who cares? This is our podcast.
Oh, yeah, we make the rules.
Exactly.
Okay. So, last question. We actually touched on this last episode. What's something that you currently want to change about yourself? Or that's maybe like hard to change about yourself, or what's a process you're going through with changing?
That's the easiest question you asked me.
Okay. Okay.
I want to learn how to forgive.
Okay. Well, that dead easy. Obviously, we just went through it for an hour.
That's my mission. That's my only goal right now. That's my goal over work. That's my goal over anything.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to forgive for real.
Love it.
That's it. That's all.
I want to learn how not to stress out and how not to worry as much as I do. I don't want to put in the work to do it, to be honest with you. I'm so over it. Because part of my question was, what do you want to change without, like, if you could just have something that you don't have to put in the work for, you could just change.
Yeah.
What would you do? But I think everything requires work. Anyways, I would change the amount that I worry and stress. And it is something that I'm working on. But I think your passion for forgiveness has increased my passion for forgiveness more, but my passion to also work on the things that I need to change.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So maybe we can leave people with this little nugget or question is maybe there's something that you need to think about that maybe you need to change. Maybe you need to put the work in. But also we just hope you had fun today.
Yeah.
Hearing about Jason breakdancing on cardboard.
So much fun.
And me being a big girl or whatever.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me either. But yeah, back to regular scheduled programming next week. But thanks for learning a little bit more about us today. I hope I'm right.
I hope you're right too.
Okay, great. Great, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
We usually say at the end of our episodes, if you know someone that this could benefit and stuff like that. I don't know if anyone can necessarily benefit from this. We dropped a few little cute little things.
Nobody's benefiting anything.
Okay,
from
fine. Well then. If you know someone that's interested in our podcast, or have a previous episode that you really felt a way about, or that you felt something to, please share it with them. Not so that we can get views, but so that people can just maybe have a change of mind, a change of heart, or a change.
Just improve themselves in a very small way.
Yeah, just by learning from two regular people just talking. But this was fun.
It was different. I wasn't expecting it.
No. Anyways.
Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
We are asking you to please send it over to them. We would love for them to hear it. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Carissa and Jason, and over on YouTube at Real Talk with Carissa and Jason.